streamed from the station, as though he were expecting every minute to see the king himself stride from it. But it was no king he waited for, rather indeed a queen, the queen of his beloved master's heart. And as he sat there staring about him, he became conscious of a queer, gnawing pain somewhere in the region of his stomach. The knowledge of the very excellent tea he had missed by reason of this endless waiting swept over him in an overwhelming tide. "Lor, lummy!" ejaculated he as the time sped on and she for whom he watched came not. "If she don't come by the next train, I shall be reduced to eating of me bloomin' hat to save me life. I'll be a living skeleton, I will, with not even as much to chew at as a winkle or a charcoal biscuit. But the governor, bless his heart, ain't even had as much as that. He'll be just fit to bust hisself in a minute. And speaking of angels, here he is." Here he certainly was, the only being in the world who counted to Dollops, and he looked both tired and depressed. Under ordinary circumstances one might as well have expected to meet an uncaged lion in the streets of London as to come across Hamilton Cleek wandering up and down in so exposed a place as Charing Cross Station at any hour of the day, much less when the Paris boat train was expected. This train might debouche any number of Mauravanians or French Apaches, all pledged to kill the rat of a cracksman, the man of 40 faces, who had long ago left their haunt and company for the sake of one fair woman, whose eyes had pierced the depths of his degradation, bidding him aspire to better things. And it was for her, his queen among women, that Cleek waited now. That morning's post had brought a brief scrap of a letter, telling him that she was returning to-day from a long visit to the Baron de Carjorac and his daughter in Paris. Only a short, friendly note it had been, but sufficient to cause Cleek to spend his day at the station, not knowing by which train she would arrive. It was little wonder, therefore, that at 5:30 Dollops was growing desperate. A whistle shrilled. There was the sudden excited clamour of many voices, and the boat train, late and overcrowded, had come in. Cleek switched on his heel, forged a way through the waiting crowd, and betook himself to the gates. For a moment only a flow of passengers met his gaze, when suddenly the sight of a slenderly knit figure made his heart leap to his mouth. A mist swam in front of his eyes, blurring their vision momentarily, and he took an exultant step forward, for it was Ailsa Lorne herself. She gazed at him with a look of glad surprise, and a swift rush of colour came to the pure oval face which set his pulses hammering. "Ailsa!" Hand met hand in the warm clasp which there is no mistaking, and then Cleek realized that she was not alone. By her side stood a young girl, not more than 18, if looks counted for anything, evidently so tired and worn with the rigours of the journey that she seemed too dazed to notice anything or anybody. Ailsa, thrusting a friendly arm through hers, drew her forward. "Lady Margaret, this is a very dear friend of mine," she said in her fresh young voice. "Lieutenant Deland, dear." No need to tell Cleek that there was some special reason for this meeting and introduction, for he knew only too well how quick Ailsa Lorne was to lend a helping hand to anyone in trouble, and he registered a silent vow to do all he could, should occasion demand, for this tired-looking child. Then Ailsa spoke again, looking significantly at Cleek. "We have both been victims of a terrible crossing, and Lady Margaret has found no one to meet her. She has come from the convent of Notre Dame in Paris, and has to go all the way to Hampton now." "Hampton?" Cleek echoed, raising his eyebrows involuntarily, for he knew Ailsa would go direct to the riverside cottage in that place, which she had made her home. "Yes, I tell her we are to be..."